Hey,
Hi.
this is Mary Kay Callison, and I'm Kay Callison, and we are here to talk about my wife's profession called Green Alignment. And I thought it was important. Of course, it was me who came up with this idea of podcast because I think she has a lot to talk about, and I think she has a lot to teach. And I think in our world today, we need more education on how we treat our bodies. So, Mary, and we're new to podcasts, so this isn't going to be perfect, and I'm not planning on being perfect. But if you have any questions about it, please make sure you reach out to Mary Kay because she's the one's going to answer. So, Mary, why green alignment?
What I was striving for in the name, what I wanted to capture was this, it's kind of a big idea in my mind.
Mhm.
The green part being, like plants and nature and our earth. The alignment part is partially posture, how we move in the world, movement, but it's also, that alignment with what is healthy for us as human beings. And I'm an odd duck. I'm someone who not completely rejects our current medical system. I know that it brings a tremendous amount of good and help and heroism, but I also think that each individual has a tremendous responsibility to themselves and to those they love. And I think that we are stronger and better for taking care of ourselves, for taking care of those that we love, taking care of this body that roams on this earth, and taking care of the nature, the animals, the bugs, the plants that are here already, and we need to come back to alignment with a place where humans are healthfully part of their environment and are not tremendously dependent on the medical model or um
Well, and let's just be clear. We're not here to say don't go see your doctor. In fact, go see your doctor on a regular basis. And this isn't to solve all medical mysteries of our bodies, right? This is about aligning your body, having better posture, and helping you feel better with your own control. I think we give up, and maybe I'm wrong, but we give up too much of ourselves for others to tell us what to do.
Mm.
I mean, we live in a world of convenience, right?
It's
We hardly
amazing.
move out of our house, and it's really frustrating. And for me, I married. How long you been doing this?
uh I've been interested in
Oh
posture
my
or
God.
alignment for
Well, since we've been together 34 years, I remember she was in college and she was dancing. And
started in dance.
I was coming out of the military. I had a wicked car accident and I was just falling. Like I was losing my balance and everything and had brain injury and whatnot. And one day she started giggling and stuff, and I'm like, why are you laughing? She goes, you're walking really funny. And I think it was then, even when she was in dance, it's all about posture. Like she tells me all the time, sit up straight, stop bending, and you're walking funny, is something wrong with your hip? And so it makes total sense that you go into this alignment. But how did you discover green alignment, and what does green alignment cover? Like, I mean, green alignment to me is health, food, energy, body, respecting your body. So am I in the right direction, or do you have another definition so I'm not making shit up?
Okay, there's a lot of questions in that
I know.
question, a lot.
Welcome to me.
But what it covers, the areas that I kind of see, well, there are areas of interest to me. Um, One is movement. I think I've been a natural mover
Mhm.
from way back. I started when I was very young. I just never sat still and
Right.
went into gymnastics. We did judo as kids. We, played outside constantly. I was a really fast runner, mostly because I was running away from my brother and or we were playing big games outside, running was a big part of it. I was always really limber and stretchy, but I had certain qualities of my body that were over stretchy and others that, weren't there at all. Always thought that was really interesting. As I got into high school, dance became a big part of my life. And I pursued it through college. Um, I was always dancing. And then when I got out of college, I found yoga and I went pretty deep into that as a practitioner, not as a teacher or anything. I thought about it. Um, and eventually, I think because I started to look into different move or different therapies because my body was not, I was aging and my body wasn't feeling very good. I was having a lot of headaches and they were getting worse. I was,
You also gave yourself whiplash at a Scorpion concert. I
yeah,
think that's what started a lot of your interest in alternative medicine to begin with.
yeah,
But
yeah.
after
That led me. I didn't even know that you could go to I didn't even know what a chiropractor was.
and who knew that you can give yourself whiplash at a Scorpion
It's called
concert?
enthusiasm.
Very much so with
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
If there was a mosh pit, she'd probably be down there moshing around, but she went with her brother. And I believe that was the beginning of you understanding how the body works. And again, you know, I'm not medically trained. I mean, I've done first aid and stuff like that. I am not a doctor, and we're not here to advise you in any way as far as Western medicine. A lot of what we're going to be talking about is what green alignment is and how green alignment is important to you, as well as taking on questions or just educating people. Because again, I think our country or our lives, our society, whatever the hell you want to call it, we're so we're so used to being given everything at our door. We're not even moving. And I think it's important that we have conversations around this. And again, do we have all the answers? No, but I can testify that with this practice that Mary is developing and working really hard on, it's changed my life in ways that I'm just like, what? Because I've had accidents, I've had two knee replacements, both of them interesting experiences, but at the same time preventing me from bending and being afraid of that pain because both surgeries were kind of messed up. And when she started this, I sort of like was her guinea pig in so many ways, but I was resistant. Like, oh my God, how long is it gonna take? And oh my God. And I stopped and I realized this is stupid. Why am I waiting to do this? Like, I am a physical person, so I need to move. I mean, you can tell with my moods, if I don't move, if I don't get out and move, I get really depressed. And especially during the COVID was really hard and everything. So I started doing it, and really it takes, I don't know. I mean, I have different exercise programs, but usually I think no more than 20 minutes, if that. And it's all customary, and working with her just helped me. And at first it's like I started at a big platform, so I couldn't get on the ground. I couldn't even cuddle with my dog on the ground. So I just started very slowly, and within, I would say, 6 months or 7 months of consistently doing this, I did it 7 days a week for the first 6 months, not even thinking that I can kneel. And then I did. And I'm like, holy crap, I did it. And it does take work, it takes dedication, and I own it. I can't expect Mary to tell me, okay, did you do your exercise today? Okay, get up, let's do it. She's not what do
I'm
you
not
call
a
it, a
personal trainer.
cheerleader. She's not a personal trainer. She's there to give advice. She's there to help make sure I'm doing it right. But like anything in our lives, if we want change, you have to be the change, you know? And it's funny how people are like, I don't understand, I don't get it, because we're so used to being told what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and how long to do it. And I just think that's bullshit. And I do think this is a very important question podcast to me, because I think we have a lot of people out there that are hurting emotionally and physically. So um so when you got into this, because I know you're very much of Dr. McDougall fan, do you want to talk about that at all, or do you want to just continue to talk about green alignment and where is that going, or how do you want to run this? And again, this is new for us. It's not going to be scripted. It's not going to be like, you know, certain topics. We're just going to talk. So do you want to jump in anywhere, or how do you
Well, I
want?
think I got up to the point of that I wasn't feeling
Mm,
very good in my
yeah,
body. And so
yeah.
I started searching for various therapies and I put myself heavily into chiropractic, being treated by a chiropractor. I went down the road of massage. I recommended myself for physical therapy. I had various types of body work done. Ended up on myofascial release. I found wonderful things with every one of those therapies. Unfortunately, I wasn't getting better. So the trajectory that I could perceive, for example, say with my headaches, was that I was going from, having annoying headaches to headaches that would last multiple days, then
Okay.
into migraines, where I'd be like, excuse me, I got to go throw up, I'm all sound sensitive and light sensitive. And, they were getting worse. There were multiple days,
Yeah.
Dedicated to these dumb headaches.
They
Then I
knock you
couldn't
out.
treat them.
Yeah.
There was no medicine. And again, like I said earlier, I'm not somebody who is like, oh, doctor, give me a pill. I was trying everything on my own. I was fasting. I was changing my diet. I was uh, I was abstaining from things that I thought might cause headaches. So I was looking for those triggers, et cetera, et cetera. So these problems in my body, even though I was spending a lot of money on therapy, and at home, I'm, doing my yoga, I'm doing
Walking. You were
yeah, I
walking.
walk a lot.
Meditation.
Sure, I did meditation. I was also doing various, types of workouts here at home, and Beachbody and all of that, and rebounding. I mean, I was really exploring so many different things. And then
Diets.
one day I was listening to a podcast where I heard about um, Dr. McDougall. Dr. McDougall, among many luminaries, led me into a whole food plant-based diet. And in that, I found, I mean, we could talk about a different kind of trajectory other than my body and how I was feeling. Years before that, I had gained a bunch of weight, and I was like, what's going on? Well, I was eating like crap. And I was always the skinny little bendy person who could eat whatever I wanted. Well, as I got older, I started putting on the pounds, around 10 pounds a decade. And eventually I kind of woke up and said, well, did Weight Watchers a few times, was very successful. That said, I went back to eating the way that I would, once I achieved my weight, and ended up gaining the weight back. And so that led me, knowing that along the lines of wanting to be naturally thin again, not have to worry about my body's weight, and also be healthy. I wanted to affect these other issues. That's what led me down in my exploration into a diet that, we can talk about. That's part of, I think, a huge maybe 80% of a human's health is what we put into our body.
100%.
Um, so I found whole food plant-based eating, an incredible amount of good information on those sides. It helps me amazingly with hormonal issues, with body aches and pains, keeps my weight naturally at a good level, a good healthy level. And I feel good, knowing that in my mind that I'm doing the best for myself.
And I think the way how you're describing your discovery of green alignment and posture work. I think it's really important to say that no one's perfect, but if you're sitting there thinking that you're exercising and then eating whatever you want is going to heal your body and everything, I think you need to rethink that strategy. It may work for some, but it does catch up on you. And I'm not saying I'm a total vegan or everything, but because of Mary's discovery and how she's educated our family in a way to where I feel like, yes, we eat junk food sometimes. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and try to make it sound like we're ooh la la and everything, but choices we've made has changed our lives from even moving from a rainy state to a sunny state and how being outdoors and everything. But I have to say that even if you're eating really healthy and you're not moving, your body will reflect that. And I think that's one of the key reasons why we want to do this is because one, it's fun. And two, I've changed my life and you've changed your life just on some of the smallest choices. And it's not easy. And I'm not saying it's a piece of cake, but again, it falls on you. It's not anybody, Dr. McDougall, whoever. We all know that people who are caring for their bodies and stuff, they do a good job. And so I just want to make it clear that we're not perfect, but we have made some changes in our lives.
Yeah. And I
Significantly.
actually, that's one of the reasons that I think that I like the term alignment is because it's an active process and it's seemingly never done. You
Yep.
know, if it's posture, one thing I like about that is there is an ideal, you know, that kind of exists out there. You know, we know that the shoulder has so much range of motion. You know, we know that we want to be strong to be able to deal with our lives. You know, there's certain ideals that we want. That said, we're always striving to get to that. The whole food plant-based diet, you know, there's a lot of times where it's really difficult to find that food, you know. So yes, there may be times to go off the diet, but to come back into alignment is a process that I think that we do every day when we wake up,
Yep.
you know.
100%.
To do a little bit of introspection, a little bit of mindfulness, maybe some breathing, you know, helps us deal with stress. So I have a multi-pronged kind of lifestyle medicine approach that I'm developing. I started on the diet side,
Yep.
and I believe whole food plant-based kind of
It does.
hits
And
all
we've
the
actually
things that you want to strive for. I
and
want to strive for health. That's
right.
kind of my primary. Secondarily, I do not want to ignore the environment. You know, I'm really passionate about living here. I don't think I'm going to end up on Mars someday. You know, I think I love
That would
these
be cool.
trees and the beautiful blue skies and the animals that surround us. I feel very deeply about having a life that is not, that does,
Hurting another
yeah,
life.
that doesn't hurt another life. Yeah, absolutely. Well said. So, yeah, so, you know, that type of diet, whole food, plant-based aligns along those,
And someday she wished that I would do the same, but I think I'm more of a curious cook. Like you give me an item and I'm like, ooh. And so yeah, I can cook vegan and I'm getting better at it every day. And
she's a fantastic cook, and I keep telling her she needs to use her superpowers for the
the
good,
greater good,
you
the
know,
greater good.
be that
Yeah,
superhero.
and you know, I do like when Mary started talking to our family about plant-based food. I mean, let's be real. 12, 15 years ago, plant-based food was very challenging for me. It was like I did not wasn't into it. Now with science and like so many different chefs that I admire showing different ways and textures and flavors and stuff, it is possible. And one of the things that I've done in my cooking curiosity is how do I take like chicken nuggets that my children love and I like sometimes and make it into a vegan meal. And believe it or not, there are ways that you could do that. And I challenge you to try it. And you could reach out to Mary and me and I have lots of recipes. If you don't follow me on social media, I share a lot. And in fact, this is a new adventure for her. So be kind, you know. But it is possible. And when we started considering changes, it's a struggle because we like our food. We like what we want, and again, it's all about convenience, right? Why do I
Convenience and
want
just how good stuff tastes.
taste? Yeah. Oh God.
It's
Yeah.
outrageous,
Yeah.
it's so palatable, so
But if you
amazing.
educate yourself about spices and combinations and stuff, and Food Network does a really good job educating you. There's so many cooks out there. And we did a 15-day challenge, and I challenge you to do it too. It's only 15 days to pick, what is it, one starch?
Well, this is the McDougal.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's the McDougal challenge.
Mhm.
And it's a 15-day, 12-day.
I think they go for 12 days.
And Mary has a website. She's still working on it, but on the website there's resources there's book, the Starch Solution, which is written by Dr. McDougall. It gives you the whole playing
Program.
field.
But even if you go out to his website, it's all free. All
Yeah.
this information out there and the program is there.
You
It's called Mary's Mini.
Yeah, for like $5 a day, you can, just take 15 days and eat like rice in multiple ways. I think I did rice, and there's like frozen rice that's convenient. Um, Trader Joe's has a great jasmine frozen rice, 3 minutes, and you have a beautiful plate of rice. And then
Redefining fast food.
yeah, redefining fast food. It's just amazing. So, anyways, I can go on forever for food, but it all does align your body and your mind. And I think, you're saying about trying foods and stuff like that, but then you've always been meditating too, incorporating the practice of meditation, whether it's EFT, emotional tapping. Is that it? Emotional tapping, EFT, emotional freedom tapping, or something like that.
Technique, probably.
Oh yeah, technique. Emotional technique.
Freedom technique.
Freedom technique. Yeah.
Something like that.
EFT, look it up. It's
amazing, actually.
Yeah. And there's a lot of free conferences that you can educate yourself. But regardless, so Green Alignment, we are going to do this podcast once a week, and we'll come up with different topics and stuff like that. We just wanted to introduce ourselves. I'm Kate Kellison. This is Mary Kay Kellison. She is a founder, developer, CEO, magic magician to Green Alignment. And as you learn about Green Alignment and the practices that are in place, you should consider it. And she's always open for a conversation, right?
Oh, absolutely. And a lot of great resources. I'd like to develop that on the website.
Yeah. And this is just the beginning. So, you could find her Green Alignment website, and it's up.
It's green-alignment.com.
Yeah. And
it's in development.
It's in development, but some information is there for you to use, or you can reach out to Mary at postureworkwithmarykay@gmail.com. Did I say that right?
Postureworkwithmarykay@gmail.com.
It's a long ass email.
That's one aspect of it.
But you can reach out to her, or you can reach out to me if you can't, I'm her assistant. So you can reach out to me as well at k.m.kellison@gmail.com. And if I can help you connect with Mary, great. So next week, I don't even know what we're going to talk about, but we'll pick a topic. And eventually, if we get into this groove, hopefully we'll have some of the testimonies of people who've been doing Green Alignment with Mary, not just me. We'll have questions, whatever. I think it's going to be exciting. I think this is going to be a fun time for Mary and I to connect. I think we have a lot to say, don't you?
Well, yeah. Yeah, even the concept of Green Alignment is too big, it's too much, but it's exciting and it's all kind of in development.
Yeah, and it's not just about movement, although that is a primary focus, but it's also going to be about aligning your whole mind and body. And when body meaning food, maybe one day I'll do a cooking class. Um, Not that I'm a trained chef, but I've been cooking most of my life, and I love it and I'm passionate about it. So if I can help you make little changes, even if you take one meal a day and replace it with a plant based, you're making change for the us. I mean, not us. Making change for the earth, animals, and yourself. You know. So I hope you have a good day. Do you have any final thoughts?
Well, we'll see you again next time.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Have a great day, guys. And stay in line.